Hey everybody, Kyle Sasser here, and it is everybody's favorite time of the month. That's right, real estate market statistics time. These real estate statistics are for Hillsborough County for March 2024. Now you're probably asking, Kyle, the report says on it February 2024. Why are you calling these March 2024 numbers? The reason why is because the real estate numbers naturally we can only look at about a month in total. So the most recent numbers we have are from February 2024, but I'm recording this video in March 2024, so I call it the March 2024 stats. The other thing to know about these numbers is that we compare year to year. So we are comparing February 2024 to February 2023. I have been looking at the month-to-month numbers a little bit more than I had historically. I've been doing these videos for, I think, like 7 years now. I've been looking at the month-to-month numbers a little bit more than usual just because the market's been a little wacky since June, July 2022. But it's important to take the month-to-months with a grain of salt because there is a natural ebb and flow to the real estate cycle. Obviously, in wintertime, or a lot of times when the schools are letting out or starting, people are concerned about other things. They're concerned about holidays. They're concerned about getting situated and getting into the new rhythm of the school year. So, the number of homes that go up for sale or that are purchased naturally over the course of 12 months goes up, goes down. So it's important to keep that in context. Now, if you watched the previous 2 or 3 videos, if you've been subscribed to the channel or keeping up with this, you know that I have been making some predictions for what is going to happen in 2024. So this month is where we should start to see some shifts compared to previous months. And by and large, I didn't see anything too surprising. Things are continuing as expected with these February numbers. Kind of the true tale of the tape is going to be next month's video in April. That should really cement if, the expected price increases that I've been talking about are going to start to develop. But I don't see anything that contradicts that initial impression of 2024 in these numbers. So basically, the current month numbers are basically confirming of what I suspect will be happening in 2024 here. All right, well, let's dive into these Hillsborough County market statistics. Total number of closed sales was down 2.2% from 1,179 to 1,153. Cash sales dropped 2.6% from 274 to 267. Median sales price went up 5.2% from $399,990 to $420,820. Average sales price went up 6.5% from $496,688 to $529,047. Median percent of original list price went up 1.2% from 95.6% to 96.3%. So what that is the original asking price. Whenever that house got listed, what was the eventual sales price expressed as a percentage? Median time to contract is up 5%, went from 40 days to 42 days. Total number of new listings. So normally speaking, if something's like 0 to 5%, I take that as basically, things are holding pretty steady. However, once I start seeing, 10% or more, then that tends to be a significant change. So total number of new listings increased 24.7% from 1,383 to 1,724. Active inventory increased 22% from 2,569 to 3,135. Foreclosures and short sales, it went up a little bit. It's a little deceptive. It went from 7 to 9. Now, I do like to touch on a few of the month-to-month numbers here so we can kind of see. Hillsborough County has basically been holding pretty steady, though, the last 6 months or so. So June 2023, we had 438,000. July, we had 430. Then August, we tipped up to 445. And then we've kind of been down in like the 420, 430 mark since. So November was 425, December was 430. January it slid to 410, but again, that's probably a hiccup just due to the holidays. Not too many contracts going out in right before Thanksgiving and early part of December. In February, we're back up to 420,000. So it's been holding pretty steady. Total number of active inventory here is also up. We're up 22% compared to February 2023. The crazy thing to point out here, though, is if we look at February 2023 versus February 2022, we were up 132%, so we had doubled. So 2023. We do have a little more inventory now, but it's nothing like the change from 2022 to 2023. There's really actually been a pretty good number of houses to choose from in Hillsborough County the last year and a half. Now, our median time to contract, I just kind of want to hold this up to show it to you. So this is the crazy days of 4, 5, 6 days on market, and that's median. So that's the midpoint for everything on the market was 4, 5, 6 days. And we're currently more like this, which is a little higher than our historic norms, but not by too much. Well, we're at 42 days currently, so we are a little high, but 30 days was not unusual back in 2020, pre-COVID days. Now, I do like to touch on the different price points because a $1 million house does sell for a little bit different time frame than a $300,000 house. And primarily that is a result of the buyer pool. There's simply more people that are able to purchase a $300,000 home than a $1 million home. Total number of closed sales, let's kind of hit some high points here. The truth is there's just not much, there's not much under 300,000 to be honest. So 100 to 150,000, there was a total of 4 houses in all of Hillsborough County. That's a 75% decrease. 150 to 200,000, there was 44% fewer homes sold, total of 14. 200 to 250, there was 40.8% fewer homes sold, 29. 250 to 300,000, there was 22.1% fewer homes sold, total of 67. And then at 300 to 400, that's where things really kind of levels off a little bit. So 300 to 400,000 decreased 8.5% to 376, but 400 to 600 went up 16.6%, total of 428. 600 to $1 million went up 5.1%, total of 166, and $1 million or more went up 7.9%, total of 68 homes sold. Median time to contract is pretty wild, honestly. So basically, below 250, everything is moving super quick, and then everything above that is taking that 40-day mark, which again, that's where the bulk of the market is. But it's crazy, some of these numbers. So $150,000 to $200,000, which had a total of 14 homes sold. The median time to contract was 3 days for those, which is 88.5% shorter than it was last year. But once we get up into like 300 to 400,000, 7% shorter at a total of 40 days. And then the inventory by current price is also up, at least if you're above that $250,000 mark. So 150 to 200,000, we had a decrease of 29%, total of 22 homes. 200 to 250,000, we had a decrease of 33.3%, total of 28. 250 to 300,000, this is where we start to see things going up. So that went up 18.4% to 122. 300 to 400,000 went up 14.8%, total of 797. 400 to 600,000 went up 34.9% to 1,202 homes. 600 to $1 million went up 21.2%, total of 577. And $1 million or more went up 17.7% to 386 homes. Now, number of new listings by list price, we basically have a little bit of a break at 300,000. So 150 to 200,000, there was 8.7% fewer homes, total of 21. 200 to 250,000, there was 44.4% fewer homes, total of 20 new listings. 250 to 300,000, there was 5.3% fewer listings, total of 90. And then at 300, we have this break point. So we had 22.7% more homes, more new listings between 300 and 400,000, total of 497. 400 to 600,000 climbed 38.9%, total of 653. 600 to $1 million jumped 21.5% to 288. And $1 million or more went up 33% to 149. Total inventory, which is last day of the month, we take a snapshot of the market, and then we see how many houses are for sale at each price point. Again, we have that pretty clear line at 250,000 this time. 100 to 150,000, there was a total of 1 house for sale. 150 to 200,000, there was a total of 22, which is a decrease of 29%. 200 to 250,000 dropped 33.3% to 28. And here's where that break is. 250,000, we saw 18.4% more homes. Total of 122. 300 to 400,000 went up 14.8% to 797. 400 to 600,000 went up 34.9% to 1,202. And 600 to a million went up 21.2% to 577. So those are the Hillsborough County market statistics numbers. So if you remember back to your math class there, average and median, or mean median mode, whatever you want to call it. So averages, you take, let's say, 5 houses, you add up the sales price of all those houses. That gives you the average of those 5 sales. Median is a little bit different. Median, we're trying to figure out where the more of the true midpoint is. And so what median is that is the point at which there is an equal number of homes that sold for more as there were that sold for less. So it does tend to not swing as hard as averages. And the reason why is because averages can be pulled pretty easily if there was a large number of very expensive or very inexpensive homes sold, or even if you just had like one crazy exceptional property that sold for $40 million, that will pull the average a lot more than the median, at least. Now, the other downside is since our total number of transactions is a lot lower than it has been historically, both our average and our median has been bouncing around more than it usually does. And so you do have to kind of keep that in mind as you're looking at these numbers and comparing them to previous years. Just there's going to be a little bit more volatility because we're only selling, 60%, 70% of the number of homes that we do normally. So let's dive a little bit into what all this means. What is going on with the real estate market? Well, if you've been watching for the last few months, you know that we have had a little bit of a slide for the last 6 months, and you know that I've been talking about oscillations. As far as I can tell, we've been having like a 6-month back and forth, and it swings with demand. Seems to be coinciding with just the year. So wintertime, things are a little bit slower. Demand drops. We build up a little bit of inventory. Springtime, people start thinking about buying homes again. The buyers come back. They buy through the little bit of inventory that we have built up. And then the number of homes available for sale shrink, and then prices climb again. So yes, we did list more homes than sold last month, but it was not by a necessarily overwhelming margin. And so we're not listing thousands of homes, but only selling. It's very close to the tipping point, and so that's why any little shift in demand for more than a month or two, and you start seeing prices going up, or then after 3 or 4 months, you start seeing prices go down. So, and again, this looks like almost a exact setup like 2023 was, which we didn't really know what 2023 was going to do because, it was new territory. Before that, the price had basically been a steady increase year over year for seemingly 8 or 9 years. And then 2023 was the first time where we really had like a 6-month stretch where prices retracted. But we set new record home prices in 2023. And the reason why is, again, because the inventory is so low. And we haven't solved the core problem, which is we don't have enough homes for the number of people that want to buy homes. That is the crux of the matter for the last really 4 or 5 years. So COVID definitely accentuated it. But this was kind of shaping up before then, to be honest. And there's many reasons for it. The number of new home starts is still very low. We've only recovered to the mid to late 1990s levels. The thing with these numbers is there's nothing by themselves that are kind of telling the tale here. This is so to me, this is like a as expected numbers, right? So yes, we have built up a little bit of inventory, but prices are still very high, holding steady. Anecdotally, so it's not in the stats because seeing buyers come back, I usually don't see those until April, sometimes even May, depends on the year. But anecdotally, in my business, I have been getting a lot of phone calls from buyers, and the phone had been relatively quiet the previous couple months. Again, I don't have numbers to show you that the buyers are coming back, but in my business, they look like they're coming back, and I'm fully expecting to see next month's numbers. You know, the number of closed sales should be up. Maybe the inventory has shrank a little bit as we've sold through a little bit of it. And, you know, eventually after 2 or 3 months of that, inventory is going to shrink to the point to where the prices are going to climb again. There's currently not much else for the market to do. Now, if by some chance we get to April or May and that does not shape up, maybe for whatever reasons people have gotten spooked off of buying houses, I'm happy to report that. Like, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to tailor my analysis at those points in time. Like, I am actively seeking correct information here so I can best advise my clients. I don't generally try to predict too much in the future here, but 2024 is looking to shape up like 2023 was. The only things that could really derail it is if interest rates climb even higher, or if there's some major economic, problem that develops that just really either kills the banking industry or guts consumer confidence. So that's pretty much it. So there's nothing really too crazy going on this month. It's basically just kind of in line with what I would expect the curve to look like as we go into 2024. But again, if it doesn't, I promise if it doesn't turn out how I'm expecting it to, I will let you know. So thank you so much for tuning in for these market statistics for the Tampa Bay area. My name is Kyle Sasser. If you would like help finding your own great place in the Tampa Bay area, I would love to help you out. You can reach me at 727-300-2111. If you're thinking about buying or selling, first time buyer or not, be happy to help you out, have a conversation with you, and get you on the path. You can call me at that phone number. There's also a link in the description down below where you can book a chat for the time that works best for you. A lot of times that's the easiest way to go about it. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching these market statistics. And once again, my name is Kyle Sasser, and I'll talk to you soon.